in his hand. I wish you had me. Somebody, while I'm preaching, you ought to be making up in your mind that light bill I'm worrying about, I'm going to put it in his hand. That baby that's giving me trouble, I'm going to put it in his hand. Find you another neighbor that never put it in his hand. 2 chapters later, the same man he let go try to kill him again, and God tell him, don't kill him. Ziklag is destroyed. And to show you how this man trusts God, before we get to this chapter, he encouraged himself in the Lord his God, and then he went in prayer. He wouldn't pursue his enemy without getting an okay from God. He said, Lord, shall I pursue? Put it in his hand. I'm going to go on and get through. Yes, sir, but you got to put it in the Lord's hand. He's made king of Virgil. In chapter 5, Samuel 2. Then the very next chapter, he's trying to carry the Ark of the Covenant down to the city of David, and somebody fall dead. And David just, he leave the ark there because of his fear of God, but then somebody called David and said, David, you know you left that ark down there in Obed-Edom. Do you know everything around there is growing? Everything around there is prospering. They say, I got to go down to Obed, and I got to bring the ark on down to Israel. And the Bible says when he got the ark and en route going back to the city of David, say every 6 paces. That's a man that believing that God got control. Say every 6 paces he gave God praise. Could you imagine the ushers taking up the offering, and every 6 steps they stop and say, "Look, I got to put it in the hands of the Lord." See, when I got a problem, it's my problem. But when I put it in God's hand, it becomes God's problem. I need you to pray with me. Because if I took Leonardo da Vinci and I gave him a paintbrush, or you gave me a paintbrush, it's just a brush in my hand. But when you put a paintbrush in Leonardo da Vinci hand, it becomes a paintbrush. I wish I had me somebody. If you take a golf club and put it in my hands, it's just another club. But take a golf club and put it in Tiger Woods' hand, it becomes a golf club. I wish I had me somebody take Hank Aaron and put a bat in my hand. It's just another bat. But if you take a bat and put it in Hank Aaron's hand, it become a home run hitter. If you give me a football, it's just a ball in my hand. But take that football and put it in Peyton Manning's hand, it becomes a football. Get that neighbor high five. I said, neighbor, now if you take a basketball and put it in my hands, it's just another ball. But take a basketball and put it in Michael Jordan's hand, it becomes a basketball. Now look at that neighbor and say, neighbor, if you take a nail and put it in my hand, or your hand is just another nail. But take that nail and put it in Jesus' hands. When you put that nail in Jesus' hand, it becomes another nail. It becomes our deliverer. Say, neighbor, take your problems and put it in his hands. Take your bills and put it in his hands. Get that neighbor high five. Say, neighbor, everything that concerns you, put it in his hands. I heard the psalmist say that the Lord will perfect say, put it in his hands. You got a husband that won't act right. Put it in his hand. You got children that lost their minds. Put it in his hands. I don't know about my supervisor. Put your supervisor in his hands. Get that neighbor high five. I said, neighbor, put it in his hands. Now before I get through, you got one more person you got to put in his hand. Look at that neighbor and say, neighbor, I'm blessed. Not because of what's in my hand, but I'm blessed because of whose hands I'm in. Now I need you to put yourself. Come on, put it. Come on, put it. Put it in his hand. I give it all to Jesus. I surrender. I turn all over. I can't do nothing with it. I done worried. Done stayed up all night long. Tossed and turned. But today, I'm going to put it in his hand. And when I put it in his hands, I heard the Colossian writer say, he got a peace that passes all understanding. Get that neighbor high five. I said, neighbor, put it in his hands. Now before I sit down, I got to have surgery tomorrow. I need y'all to put me in his hands. Say, neighbor, we got to put our pastor. We got to put it in the Lord's hand. I thank God for the surgeon. Thank God for the anesthesiologist. Thank God for the nurses. Thank God for the medicine in the hospital. But we ain't put you in their hands. You may be in the hospital, but we gonna put you